Monday Health Minute, sponsored by Valley Health.
Hi, I'm Melanie Schaefer. Welcome to Monday Health Minutes. Narcissism is a term that's often used in everyday conversations, but it really has psychological implications, and they run much, much deeper. Characterized by a lack of empathy and sort of an all self-importance, there's a lot going on with this. So we are talking to psychiatrist Dr. Scott Murphy about narcissism today. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
Describe to me what exactly is narcissism. As I mentioned, people just like to throw it around a lot.
They do, and we find in psychiatry that that happens with a lot of the terms that we have for our diagnoses, unfortunately. So narcissism is one of what are called personality disorders, and personality disorders are sort of entrenched ways of thinking that a person has developed, often in response to adverse things that have happened in their lives, alongside temperamental factors, things sort of like their family environment when they were growing up, sometimes genetic precursors as well. But in the end, what we've developed is a maladaptive approach. That is to say, we've learned habits and ways of thinking that aren't necessarily conducive to getting along with other people or making it through day-to-day situations.
So how is this different than having high self-esteem?
Well, it's different from having high self-esteem in that having high self-esteem actually can be quite beneficial. Narcissism is an inflated sense of almost grandiosity about the self that is counterproductive in the sense that it's out of touch with an estimation of someone's actual capabilities or their actual standing. And it's functioning in some ways as a defense. It's often accompanied a lot of anxiety and worry about the self. And this is almost a defense against those worries.
Okay. How can someone identify if they have narcissistic tendencies or someone they love does?
So unlike a lot of psychiatric disorders, a personality disorder is most useful as a framework for therapy rather than something that's treated with medications per se. So recognition of it usually happens in the context of therapy. An example would be someone who develops a lot of difficulties in their relationship or amongst their family, and they seek out a therapist to start trying to talk about ways to problem solve and ways that they could adjust the way they're thinking or acting so that they can get along with people better. Along the way, they may discover that a pattern fits, and one of those patterns might be narcissistic personality disorder. I would caution anyone against trying to self-diagnose with any of these things because those labels can carry consequences, and if we are just reading the internet and sort of trying to figure out if we have something or not, that's very different from a trained professional having a very nuanced interaction and trying to find what the most fitting and helpful diagnostic term would be.
Okay. You've mentioned personal relationships, family, romantic relationships. Can narcissism also affect the workplace?
It absolutely can. So people who have narcissistic personality disorder characteristics can sometimes very much get ahead in the workplace because of their estimation of their abilities, a high level of confidence that they're carrying around, but at the same time can develop very difficult relationships with their coworkers or their employees, depending on their work circumstances. And those relationships can be very damaging in both directions.
Any final thoughts?
I would just say exercise caution and trying to self-diagnose and be willing to reach out for help if it's needed.
Yeah, seek a licensed professional
That's
so you
right.
can make the next appropriate steps.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Murphy, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks for checking in on Monday Health Minutes.